Usually on this channel, we discuss very serious topics like politics and religion, but we wanted to take a break from that and do something more lighthearted, like going to the most expensive buffet in Australia.
Ooh.
It's the Buffet Brothers! Things are going up and away for us because this is our very first international buffet on this channel.
International love! We want to eat a lot.
There's this nice fancy hotel in Sydney called the Crown Sydney.
Put on your crown, honey. You're a queen.
Is this a ice cream cone? For some reason, the exterior reminds me of an ice cream cone. Located on the 5th floor of this bougie hotel is this place called Epicurean.
Epicurean.
I don't know what that means, so I Googled it, and one of the definitions is a person devoted to sensual enjoyment, especially that derived from fine food and drink. And there's also a Greek philosopher from like way back in the day named Epicurus, and from what I know, he just believed in like treating yourself.
Basically, he was a buffet boy.
Yeah, going to this buffet on a Friday night, which is actually the most expensive it gets. On Friday and Saturday and maybe Sunday is the most expensive it is for dinner. It's $155 Australian, and then if you do the conversion from Australian to USD, that equals $103.60 at the time of filming this video.
Wow. I was just gonna say, this is the crown jewel of our buffet life, and it's literally at the Crown Hotel. I wasn't thinking of that when I formed that sentence.
Wow. Just the environment feels like you're in a rich person's like ballroom or something. Massive floor-to-ceiling windows where you get to see the Sydney Harbour Bridge and all of the water beneath you.
It was simply breathtaking.
We decided to hit the most expensive part of the buffet in the very beginning. Seafood, it's all like fresh seafood. As you can see, the most amazing part of this seafood section is this oyster tower.
Everybody was crowding around this buffet table. Everyone was like, okay, let's get the seafood, let's go. It was kind of a little bit borderline chaotic. DJ Khaled budged in front of me at the oyster table.
Was that actually him?
I'm guessing. Most of the buffet is DIY style, you scoop it yourself, but the oyster tower, they had a designated employee there who was handing out the oysters because I think they probably tried it DIY a few times and it probably caused a lot of injuries, mental and physical.
Told the employee, can I have 5 oysters? You can have as many as you want, but I actually only wanted 5. But just being told that I can have as many as I want, is this love? Is this something deeper than a buffet? Am I being asked something deeper that I'm not aware of?
But now I actually wish we would have tested it and said, okay, I'll have the entire tower, just to see what they would say, because then they would say, actually, you can only get 20 at a time, and I'd say, you said I could have whatever I wanted!
Prawns! They don't do shrimp in Australia, they do prawns. Mussels, clams. I am not joking. We probably got to this buffet, let's say 15 minutes after it opened. Somehow, all of the king crab is already taken. I don't know how that happened, but thankfully when me and Lucas were in line, they refilled it. There was even lobster tail at this buffet, so it seems like there's basically every type of seafood.
Then they have so many sauces, and then they have all this seafood in salad dip form or something. I swear I saw like lobster mixed with mayo dip. It was overwhelming.
To be frank, I think I blacked out. I don't remember much, but I did go back to the table with a plate full of food.
I remember ripping an old man out of a wheelchair. And then I was back at the table with a plate of food. That's all I remember.
That actually happened because I do remember seeing that, but I just tried to push it down.
It happened. I'm not even gonna apologize because I was just fitting the environment. First off, it's time to slurp down these oysters. Usually when I've had oysters, it comes with a little baby fork and you scoop it out. This didn't come with that, so I was like, okay, let me just slurp them. Yeah, they're slurpable. Mussel or whatever that's in there, that body that's in the shell, you can slurp it, and if you have enough sucking skills, it gets detached from the shell. It's not very hard, actually. I don't really like them, but I like the idea of them, and that's enough. I literally just tasted salt water. It's fun. I like the activity of it.
I'm going to co-sign on what Lucas said. The taste of an oyster just feels like I'm swallowing ocean water. I am a big fan of sodium, so I do like the taste of salt. But after sucking down a few of them, it started to a little bit not appetize me anymore, just because of the texture of oysters. All I can compare it to is when we used to go fishing with our dad, and he would get bait, which would be a bunch of worms, and I would always play with the worms, and it just felt like I was eating one of those worms. It feels like I'm doing like a circus act or something, which is actually pretty fun.
So on the seafood table, they also just had a starter salad section without seafood, and I got the pumpkin lentil salad. I got it for the color. The bright orange really enticed me. I tasted sweet potato because I saw sweet potato, even though apparently it was pumpkin. My dead Pomeranian was constipated, and the vet recommended to give her pumpkin. I wasn't constipated, but I was just happy that it was something good for me. Next up is the tiger prawn, which I was excited to dig into because it had a head and
You could even see eyes.
I felt like the gross CEO on the substance while I was digging into this. I think he's eating seafood and he's doing it in such a disgusting manner. That was me with this prawn. Trying to rip it open with my bare hands, and then I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to get the scissors out. And I started cutting her open. And I don't think I've ever had a prawn head. I think it's controversial online. Like, some people don't like eating the head, some people love it. I enjoyed eating the brain. I don't even know if prawns have brains, but is there actually a brain in there? I was on a roll at this point. I decided to dig into my lobster tail. It's a little baby one. Like, maybe that's how they can afford to just have unlimited lobster tail, getting miniature ones?
Somehow they do it. Maybe it's low quality lobster.
So excited to eat this rich food item, but I tasted nothing. Sort of like oysters, where I'm gonna continue to eat it because I like the idea of it. Cool having this right after the prawn or shrimp or whatever, because I realized I like shrimp and prawn way better. It has just more flavor.
I think if you want it to be really good, you have to dunk it in butter and sauce. And as you can tell, me and Lucas were stupid and got no sauce. I got some raw salmon in the seafood section. I think it was seasoned with pepper and lemon, if I'm correct. I love salmon. I love how it's fatty. I love how it's pink. Fatty and pink, just like me.
Time to watch a king eat a king crab. I remember being a 12-year-old and using these little crackers on crab for the first time, and it is so fun. Like, you're trying to break things open. It's an escape room in a way. Eventually, after trying a few cracks, I ended up just cracking it with my hands. This settles it for me. Lobster is at the bottom of the barrel for me. Crab and shrimp? I think crab might be above it because it looks cooler. I fished around into the crab some more, and I got this creamy part. It tasted good. Here's the crab claw. I couldn't really figure it out. I feel like there was more meat in there that I didn't get. I didn't like it because I don't like eating out of a claw. I like eating out of a long limb, personally.
I also got king crab, and I just felt like I was doing a school project. I was in front of the entire class, and I was ready to present. Thankfully, after a while, I got a big piece of crab. Yes, I've had crab before, but this time having crab, I fully realized why people love it so much. It's sweet. It's almost like a dessert. We both grew up eating crab rangoons, but the thing about most of these crab rangoons, it doesn't even actually have crab, or it has like imitation crab.
You basically just taste cream cheese.
Yeah, but actually just having raw crab, no butter, just by itself, I think crab would be the best seafood at this buffet. And then I got a claw thing, and it was so pokey, it kind of was painful. Cut! It kind of feels like you're a surgeon, which is fun. But I honestly don't know how to get all this meat out. I probably wasted so much meat. It was kind of nice because they do give you these wipes to use, so then you can clean all of the gross seafood smell off your hands.
I was pissed off we even were going to this table. This table's sad. Why is this table even here?
We have to check out every table. This is sort of like a hors d'oeuvre, charcuterie board section of the buffet. Both of us got the tiniest plate from this part of the buffet.
I'm pretty sure this was like pastrami or something. It had a little onion circle in the middle, which was fun. Salami type stuff is always good. It's tomatoes and like basils on it, olive oil, some sun-dried sun-dried tomatoes. And my anger about going to this table was starting to wear off, and I was like, you know what, this is a little good break. Tomatoes are always a good thing to put in your body, you know?
Did get some blue cheese, but what intrigued me is that this is Australian blue cheese.
Nothing different.
Not that I noticed, but it would be made from Australian cows, so it is cool that the cows that made this milk had an accent, so I just kept picturing them like saying, good day, mate, and stuff, so that made me laugh. Cheese that was made in Adelaide, Australia, I think. Yeah, and that also tasted like regular cheese, but once again, I kept picturing like Australian cows, so that's, you know, it's just interesting. And then I got some marinated vegetables. It was basically artichokes with a bunch of like oils and stuff. And I just love these foods that are like, making that thing with your mouth. And it's like, I don't know. These types of foods give me energy, they give me life. And I know it's not the most expensive thing at this buffet, but I do like it.
This buffet was booked and busy. We are currently now in line for the sushi table. Unlimited sushi. Okay, everyone wants it. And you don't just use a regular circle plate. They give you sushi style plates. And there was a sushi chef there whipping it all up.
I am just so bitter looking back at this sushi part of the buffet because there was a big bowl of seaweed salad, but they had these tiny tongs to get the seaweed salad, and I probably tried for, let's say, 25 seconds, and I couldn't get any because I was filming, and I was also trying to grab some, and there was people waiting behind me, so I felt rushed. I just hate myself for that. Like, I wanna punish myself, but is that not healthy to punish yourself for not getting something at a buffet?
I would recommend punishing yourself because otherwise you're just gonna repeat the same mistake. You have to discipline yourself, and you know, Abby Lee Miller, she yelled at those girls, but they got better. Not to rub it in even more, but the seaweed salad was so good. So good. I very much enjoyed it.
Shut up!
Every time I get a little slab of tuna like this, I'm grossed out, but I eat it each time. I'm never grossed out by salmon though. Just because of the look of it. I love, again, remember before I was raving about the bright orange of the potato? I mean, of the pumpkin? Bright orange? I love putting bright orange things into my body. And that might be my body telling me I need nutrients from those things.
Honestly, one time I was at this camp and they told me that. The guru told us that.
I don't even know what these other two rolls were, but they were good. More like barbecue type rolls, you know?
I wouldn't want to eat at a buffet every day if I'm being honest, but every once in a while, I just love the energy of being confused about what you're eating. I've never had a mushroom sushi thing like this, and then it was in this bread thing that tasted very much like a fortune cookie from Panda Express. It was sort of sweet, there was rice. Mushrooms are so upward good. HE hockey sticks, like oh my gosh, this chicken katsu sushi was also so good. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna assume there's some salmon on top. And I would say this was Usward really good. Oh, this one was the vegetable roll. I'm not trying to be like weird or anything, but I would say that this is like Seaward good. Like yes, yes, yes. Now we're on to plate 4. Yeah, plate 4, wow. There was these little like bread things called smoked salmon mousse on toasties with caviar. Why did we even get this? It's not even the fancy caviar.
This proves that when you're at a buffet, your eye doesn't take everything in because I didn't notice those orange things until looking at this footage.
I would say it doesn't even matter that your brain didn't fully
load
in this toasty thing because it honestly wasn't good. And in fact, it a little bit grossed me out because it just made me think of someone eating something and then spitting it onto a cracker. So I don't approve of this personally.
Also, whenever anything's smoked, all I taste is the smoke. So it's like, it doesn't really matter if this is smoked cheese or smoked salmon mousse. All I taste is smoke. But I do like that taste. It seems like in Australia, they're really into barramundi.
People are just digging into that fish. I don't really know what you'd label this part of the buffet, but there's like a bunch of meats, seafood. There's also some Italian food, maybe some like Greek food, I'm pretty sure.
This was the most stacked plate so far.
Why would you go to the most expensive buffet for a beef pita? I just love beef pitas. And like when I bit into this, I actually said to Lucas, yeah, this is my favorite thing at the buffet thus far.
I too am embarrassed embarrassed that I liked the bagel bites so much.
This
Pizza
is a
roll.
beef pita though.
My mind thought it said beef pizza roll.
I want some food that's in the frozen aisle of a big warehouse store that you can cook in the air fryer. And
Honestly.
And I got that, which I'm thankful for.
They had 2 types of cooked oysters, I guess. This one was like a cheese oyster, I think.
I also got that cheese-filled one, but after I tried it, I don't even know if it was cheese, but some type of white, thick fluid.
This was like a barbecue one, I think.
Now I'm just fully having a revelation. Me and Lucas both felt hung over the next day after this buffet, and I think I know why. We literally probably put 50 different foods in our body within a matter of 2 hours. I don't think that's gonna make you feel the best.
Yeah, our poor digestive system's trying to figure out what to do with all this stuff. Like seeing a barbecue oyster come down and being like, I don't even know what to do with this.
And you end up being brain dead the entire next day because all the energy is being used in your digestive system and there's none left for your brain, which does suck, but I'm just gonna say it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. Wood-fired pizza. Ugh!
I love pizza. Then we both got these carrots that were in a honey spicy sauce.
Hot honey.
I am a sicko for these carrots.
I wanted a little bit more hot honey. Like, you know when you get hot honey pizza and it's like doused? I thought it was gonna be that type of thing, but it was more of a
cute thing.
Yeah, subtle hot honey glaze. But it's orange, so I did like it.
Oh, okay.
I got some lamb from the buffet because I was like, oh, that's a little bit different from my usual diet. Let's try that since we're here. And as I was eating it, Jacob was like, what is that again? Lamb leg? And just hearing the term lamb leg turned me off for some reason, which is stupid because I've had turkey legs and I don't think anything of it. But I think it's because I'm not familiar with lamb that much, and then hearing lamb leg, I started to question stuff. Nonetheless, it tasted great. It was juicy.
This is some beef lump cap. I picked a good cut because yes, I'm a beef lump cap fan, I guess. And I am surprised I liked it because I'm not a fan of like prime rib and all that stuff, and this kind of looked like prime rib to me.
Also in that section was penne alla vodka with shrimp. Every time I have penne alla vodka, it tastes different, and it will never live up to when Jacob and I made it 3 years ago on a random Friday. It's just sad that we made it that good that time, because nothing will ever live up to it.
Now we're on to plate 5. Wow!
Will these boys ever get full? Steamed buns, steamed rice,
meats in broths. There was a guy cutting meats and he smiled at me, so that made me feel welcome. I got this crunchy potato chip thing that looks like a model. It's so glassy. What are they using on their skin? And it actually tasted like a potato chip to me.
Took a little nibble, and yes, it tasted like a potato chip.
Lucas and I both got chicken korma. I've had chicken korma before, but I usually don't order that from Indian restaurants. I usually order other entrees.
This was fantastic, maybe even fantabulous. Yeah.
Supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
Yeah.
Even just the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Stop this. Stop it.
Both got these beef noodles. They were some thick noodles, as you can see.
I was excited for this because I love an Asian noodle. I adore them. But not to disappoint anyone who was expecting me to love these, but they tasted like milk. And I took another bite just to double check. Yep, it's milk.
There was a little bit of spice, which I liked, but I think the milk flavor overwhelmed my taste buds. And I do like milk, don't get me wrong, but having this much of a milk flavor from just noodles, that isn't my gig. So I'm not even trying to sound like an angel or anything because buffets are just naturally wasteful, but this is actually the first food item where me and Lucas actually only ate a few bites and then left the rest on our plate because it's not something I want to eat, so I'll just waste it, I guess, since we're at a buffet. Got a rice paper roll with prawn. We probably should have got some dipping sauce because it wasn't very flavorful. Still, I'm glad it went into my stomach.
I guess I ate a rib. I don't remember this really.
I am full, but at the same time, I feel so much love. What I realized at this particular buffet, buffets are a form of community. Although I don't know anyone at this buffet personally, just sitting at a table for 2.5 hours with these people, gorging ourselves with food, made me feel connected to a higher power. But there was a bunch of fruit. Ew, I don't want natural sugar. That's horrible for you. Have you heard what Dr. Oz said last week?
Get me out. I was literally about to barf, and I was about to slap people for getting fruit. Okay, I know multiple people watching just climaxed. Let them clean up for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the video.
So pretty. Aww. There was just so many cute desserts, and then we got led to this chocolate fountain. I'm just gonna play the raw footage right now.
Wait, we're supposed to do that?
After further looking, there is these little toothpick things, and then there's strawberries. You're not supposed to do what me and Lucas did. You're supposed to actually make chocolate-covered strawberries.
I was wondering why it was so stressful. I was like, oh my God, it's filling up so fast. And then you had to like lick the side of your plate because it was dripping. I was under the impression that this was a marshmallow. I thought it was a toasted marshmallow, and that's why there was a little chocolate thing. I thought those kind of went hand in hand, a s'mores vibe maybe. But it turns out this wasn't a marshmallow. I don't even know what this was.
Once I bit into it, I was enjoying it because it was covered in chocolate, but then I noticed this is a fancy buffet. They aren't gonna do just regular desserts. They're gonna add fruit into everything. And I think this is when I kind of realized, oh, my whole dessert's gonna be a flop and I just have to accept it. Because it's not just gonna be chocolate and marshmallow. It's gonna be like chocolate with passion fruit and then a little bit of snail cum because it adds a savory taste. So I did actually finish my dessert plate, but just so you guys know, most of it was this like snail cum type stuff.
As I devoured my way through my dessert plate, I started to realize this is why having a sex addiction is bad. This is why having a chocolate addiction is bad, any addiction. Okay, I've eaten so much food at this point that now I don't even enjoy it. And that'd be like a sex addict. Tiger Woods, back when he had a sex addiction, the 40th woman in a day, you probably feel nothing. It's just 2 pieces of flesh pounding each other and with fluid coming out, but there's no soul. And that's how it felt when I was eating this dessert. I didn't feel like a soul was eating it anymore. But the one thing that saved me was the macaroon, because I remember Ariana Grande used to always Instagram macaroons, maybe around 2013. So I was living my Ariana Grande fantasy while eating this macaroon, and she brought me back to life.
I decided to keep over consuming, and I got a plate full of kiwi.
This was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually the perfect way to end the dinner, in my opinion. It's kind of like eating a balsac, you know? Everything comes to a grand total of $322 Australian.
Oh, it was so fun walking through the buffet as we left, just reminiscing on the fun we had.
Oh, all of the memories. Even though I was blacked out for most of it, at least I can look back on this footage and think, gosh, I was so young and beautiful back then.
There were ups and downs, but at the end I felt proud.
If someone blindfolded me when the bill came and said, do you think this is the most expensive buffet you've ever been to? I would say yes, because I never have seen a buffet with that much fresh seafood.